Hey everybody, Billy Davis here with my fourth video in a series I've put together talking about how to read from a script while you're on video or a Zoom or Teams conference call without anyone knowing that you're reading from a script. Now, 3 weeks ago, we talked about the basics of how to read from a script and sound conversational. Then we talked about how to do a pre-recorded video that's read from a script. Last week, we talked about how to read on a live video conference call from a script without anyone being able to tell that you're doing that. And now we're going to take it to the next level, talking about how to use a camera with a zoom lens in order to create sort of a poor man's teleprompter effect. Now, in order to pull off the tricks taught in this video, you're going to need some equipment. I'm going to explain how the equipment works, but first let's do a checklist. So this is what's called a magic arm. It's an articulated arm which can assume a number of positions and then remain frozen in that position when you turn the locking knob. One end of the magic arm has a clamp for attaching to a variety of objects, such as a desk or the leg of a camera tripod. The other end has a standard 1/4 inch screw for mounting a camera, a light, or lots of other filming and video gear. Now what we're going to attach to this, the second piece of equipment, this is a tablet holder, and it has a screw mount at the bottom here that screws onto this screw on the magic arm. The tablet holder holds a tablet in place just underneath your camera, and that's what's going to help us create sort of a poor man's teleprompter. Now, you're going to need something different than a standard webcam in order to make this work. You're going to need a camera with a zoom lens. The camera that I use is a Canon 90D. I use it to shoot all of my videos. With the lens that I have for it, it's about $1,200, but there's other great options out there. I know a lot of people shoot video on the Panasonic Lumix G7, I think, which is about $700. And any camera that you have is going to work, provided that it has a zoom lens. So if you have an old camera that you use to take pictures of your family and kids, if it has an option to shoot video, then you can use that camera in order to do what I'm going to teach you today. We're going to need to set the tablet up with some teleprompter software. There are several free teleprompter apps that you can download either for Android tablets or for Apple tablets. I've used Suffler Pro, Big View, Elegant Teleprompter, and Speechway. I think that Simple Teleprompter has worked the best for me. There's a lot of options. You can pick out the one that you find works best for your needs. They're all free. No matter which one you download, you'll be able to import a script from a text file and then make adjustments to the font size and adjust the scroll speed so you can display the text at a size and a rate that's comfortable to you. I'm using a tablet, but you can also find adapters to hold your phone, and the teleprompter software will also work on phones just as well as they work on tablets. In my last couple of videos, I talked about how we can read a script on camera without anybody being able to tell you're reading by increasing the distance between you, the camera, and the material you're reading. Now, for the advanced setup we're using today, we're going to continue to use the principle of distance, but we're actually going to put the reading material and the camera the same distance away from you. And we'll make up the difference by using the camera's zoom lens. So let me show you how to set this up. Now I'm ready to attach the magic arm to the tripod that holds my camera. What I want to do here is center the tablet and place it as close to the lens of the camera as possible without touching. Then I'll pick the position where I'll be located during the video and adjust the tripod height, depending on whether I'm going to be sitting or standing. I'll locate the tripod at least 6 feet away from me, and then I'll use the zoom lens to compose the shot the way I want it. It's very helpful to have a friend assist you with that. The next step will involve setting up the teleprompter. Now specifically, we're going to need to adjust the font size and scroll speed. The font size needs to be sufficiently large so that you can easily read the text as it scrolls. As you experiment with font sizes, remember to present your script on video and then watch the video to ensure that your eyes aren't visibly moving as you read. If they are, then make the font bigger and/or move the camera further back. Then repeat the process until the shot looks the way that you want it. You'll adjust the scroll speed so that the teleprompter scrolls at an acceptable speed for you. I think you'll find that the appropriate speed changes depending on the material and your mood, really. If you have a Bluetooth controller that you can pair with your tablet, then most of the free teleprompter apps will let you use that controller to adjust the scrolling. For example, I have this Microsoft Bluetooth keyboard, which I was able to pair with my tablet. I use the spacebar to start and stop the scrolling, and the arrow keys to scroll up and down. I typically keep the keyboard in front of me, out of the shot, and I'll hit the space bar for a momentary pause if I find that the teleprompter script is running too fast. So that's the setup. Let me show you some of the advantages of this setup. Here I am using it to read a script for a pre-recorded video. Now I'm using the same setup to read a script delivering a presentation to folks during a live Zoom call. You can see the participants on my laptop screen, which is on the table out of the shot. The camera I'm using for the call is on the tripod, so to the participants, it appears as though I'm looking directly at them. Another good use of this setup is simply to maintain eye contact when you don't need to read a script. By taking the Zoom call on my tablet, I'm now looking directly into the camera and I can see the faces of the persons I'm talking to. This can be helpful if you have a desktop setup like mine with a large monitor. Here's my desktop with my Logitech StreamCam mounted where it would normally go, on top of the screen. The screen is a 32-inch monitor, which is fairly large, and it's located at a comfortable distance, which is still pretty close to my face. As you can see in this mock Zoom call, if I'm looking at the participant in the lower right corner, the camera betrays me. You can tell that my eyes aren't focused on the camera. To the audience, this might appear as if I'm not paying attention. So using this advanced setup, putting the Zoom call participants directly next to the camera, is great for important calls where eye contact matters. And one final advantage of this system is that it breaks with tradition and provides some visual interest. If you're on a work call, for example, most people would expect that you would be using a laptop. As we've discussed in earlier videos, one of the problems with the laptop is that the camera is located at the top of the screen and is subject to whatever angle your laptop is open. It produces an unnatural effect and an unflattering image. By using a separate camera with a zoom lens, I can compose the shot so that my laptop is still in the image. That way it doesn't seem unusual if I'm looking down occasionally to read from it. The audience will know that I'm just looking at my laptop screen. I've received compliments on this setup because of its novelty. The first time people see it, they ask, wait a minute, how'd you do that? Where's your camera? So having a separate camera can give you some additional advantages in terms of creating visual interest in your video calls. Well, that's all for this video, folks. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or thoughts, please put them in the comments. You know I love to read the comments, and I always respond to anybody who writes one. Next week is going to be my final video in this series, and it's going to tie it all together. I'm going to show you how you can set up a $200 teleprompter to create amazing videos when you need to read from a script. You'll be pitch perfect. Be sure to tune in and see it. I'll see you then. Stay happy, my friends.